And this was actually not on the docket, but when you guys brought this up, I'm like, I forgot about that. But it should be JND Superman. We should talk about this because I know Riley's going to get it. Carlos is going to get it.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
it's James Gunn's not getting it, though. I do know that.
Damn, yeah, he's
So
not.
James Gunn decided to cancel his PO with JND. But they showed a black Superman and a red and blue Superman.
Yeah.
So they didn't show the head sculpt yet, though. They showed like a little taste of it. They showed his crotch, but not his head. So you can see here, I don't know how close, that's as much as we saw. So it looks pretty good so far, though. But what are you guys thinking? Carlos, I'll start with you on this one. What are you thinking about this JND Superman? Is this something you think you're going to pick up? It is third scale. So what do you think?
Yep. So, okay. JND is a very expensive piece, right? We're talking $2,500 to $3,000. For me, this is the way I look at it. I want to stick to try to get pieces that I feel like that character is iconic because of the movie as well. For example, like Heath Ledger Joker, right? Christian Bale, Dark Knight. If you don't like it, that's fine. But most people, and even till now, it's considered one of the best Batman movies, if not the best, right? At this point, The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So the movie was great. The actors did well. This is where I'm kind of really conflicted because I don't really care about the blue and red Superman. I was never the biggest Superman fan. I was like, okay, Henry Cavill, yes, he looks good in it. He's doing a good job. But when I saw the black suit Superman, it fucking blew my mind inside. Right? I had no idea that this dude can be so emo and so cool at the same time. So I was like, okay, black suit, I like it. The problem is that to spend $2,500 and $3,000 on a iconic character, but at the same time, the character it's not like the movies that's so crazy good where it's just gonna be recognized for a while. So that's the way I would collect it because again, it's a really expensive piece. If you love it, hey, I don't give a fuck. Just buy it. That's fine. But we're talking about what I think. So I personally for me, it would be kind of difficult, I guess, to try to spend that. Because if let's say the next Superman, who's literally around the corner, right, with James Gunn, if he ends up doing a really good job, we're all gonna forget about Henry Cavill, right? We're all gonna. He'll be cool and everything, but most people
gone but never forgotten.
He's gonna be like the '89 Batman. Great, right? There was a time and place for him, but now most people prefer The Dark Knight. And '89 is a great movie. My third favorite Batman. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's going to be one of those pieces where you have to really love that specific thing. And for me, spending close to $3,000, I have to make sure the movie's good, the character is good. Just a lot of things are doing really good for it. And that's kind of where I don't know if I'm going to end up picking up this piece. I really want it though. Because like I said, the black suit that, did really great for me in the Snyder's cut. So yeah, man, I'm kind of conflicted with it because like I said, I think if the next Superman does great, then this might be forgotten. It's like whoever pre-ordered Black Adam at this point from Queen Studios, no one gives a fuck, right? Like at this point, who cares? Because
that's why we're going to talk about that next.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that next.
He's like, oh, I got Black Adam in the throne. I'm like, well, who gives a shit? There's going to be any Black Adams, you know what I mean? So it's kind
and he destroyed the throne,
destroyed the throne. Yeah, spoiler. Yeah. But yeah, so so it's one of those things. Now, Hot Toys, hey, completely different, right? It's easier. It's $300 figure, $350, whatever. Right. We're talking $3,000. So that's kind of where I'm at because it's so expensive. I want to make sure that it's something that I love. The character is iconic. The movie's great. So anyway, I'm 60%. Maybe if the head sculpt is perfect, then that might get me. Then might be fuck. Okay, maybe, but I don't know. What does Riley think? Because that's really what matters.
It looks pretty good from the mouth down. I will say that. I mean, from the nose down, rather.
Yeah,
head sculpt looks pretty damn good. So I feel like they nailed the chin, the nose, lips, everything looks pretty accurate. So what do you think, Riley? You're the biggest Superman fan on the planet. So what do you think, bro?
This hurts, bro. This hurts. So
JND just twisting the knife.
Dude, literally. I just saw this guy in the theaters, and now I see him in the statues. No, man. But I think this is when I talked to Carlos about it. Unfortunately, as much as I love the character, I think I'd still pass on it. I mean, I'm going to see the pre-order. I'm going to be like, oh my God, I love this so much. I know I am, but I think at the end of the day, like you guys talked about JND, you have to be I mean, this is a character I love so much, but I already do have people know the pre-order of the Batman one. I don't think that I can double down and go down with another JND. I mean, Superman's, probably one of my favorite characters of all time, especially the actor. I just think he did an amazing job, but like I said, I think I'd end up passing on it, unfortunately. But that said, I think it's going to turn out really great. I think this is one where like people were saying, they really have to nail the likeness of Cavill for this one. Because I think if there is controversy like that, sometimes, I mean, most of the time with JND, really, with the head sculpts, there's always controversy. I don't think they've ever really completely nailed it. Maybe the golden armor. I think that's maybe the only one where they completely nailed
Joker,
it. But,
when the proto came out, it was really widely accepted.
Yeah, the Joker. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. But yeah, when it comes to final, I think that was the one that was mainly. But
Mirror.
That said, right. And the character like Henry Cavill, I think, like you said, his movies aren't as iconic. So I think that like that kind of brings more onto it. Like you really want to nail the head sculpt. So I think that JND hopefully knows that. It looks like they're going to do 2 head sculpts from what I saw because they have a bust with it. So it's going to probably have like an angry head sculpt with maybe laser eyes. That'd be pretty cool if they included that. That'd be nice. But it's going to be really awesome looking. I'm excited to see like how it turns out. I really want to see it because I always get excited like looking at JNDs. I just think that like their trailers and stuff are really cool. Like I like looking at them. But it's going to be one that I'm probably going to pass on. I get what Carlos is saying with movies. Like it's not as iconic, but I feel like just Henry Cavill, the actor himself in the role, he did so good to where a lot of collectors would go down and get a JND Superman. But I get what you're saying, Carlos, with the movie not doing as well. You're not right about that. They're grails, but yeah. But no. He's never right. Here's the thing. They're great, but yeah, they'll go.
Here's the thing. Okay. Look, whether we like it or not, and if this is not your opinion, then again, that's fine because it's my fucking opinion. So my opinion is that,
let's see how this goes.
Is that I don't believe. Well, I liked Man of Steel, the first one. I thought it was solid. I thought it was like an 8, but it wasn't like iconic, like 9.5, 9+ movie. Right. Batman versus Superman, like it was a flop. Like just the first Justice League, it was a flop. Like Snyder Cut was good.
Yep.
But that's about it. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like where like his shoes are so, because I know someone mentioned that where like his shoes are so massive at this. It's not like Iron Man. He's not Iron Man. Like I think this is a pretty easy character to replace, to be honest with you. And I think that James Gunn is gonna do such a great job. I think he's gonna do such a great job. And I think DC, they're finally gonna have some actual direction and good vision for it. That Superman, what they're trying to make Superman is what they try to do with Iron Man, which is gonna be the focal point. And dude, if the next Superman ends up being like the shit, then people are gonna forget about Henry Cavill so quickly. Not true. So you're gonna you don't think so?
No, I think no. There's a lot of people though. To be fair, that like people say like, this is their Superman, like this is their generation, and they like love Henry Cavill when they just think he's perfect for the role. Like I know obviously I think that, but I know a lot of people who do think that too. But I get what you're saying. Like,
but what are your other options?
Right. You say that's that true. Now until you have a Superman that's a better option. Right.
That's fair.
See, not necessarily a better performance, just like better written character. Right.
That's like you look at 89 Batman and you're like, well, 89 is great. Yeah, because after that you got Batman Forever. And I was like, okay, like that was cool. And then you got what's called Batman and Robin, which was a fucking tragedy to even watch. Like every time I feel sad. Yeah,
when I feel sad, I watch. And then the Batman was better. Yeah, the Batman was better.
That final one. So many versions. But for Superman, you get is it Christopher Reeves? Is that what it is?
Christopher Reeves. Yeah, people love him. Yeah.
And then after that, you get who? There was another. Wasn't there another one? Another
guy in Smallville.
Smallville one. Yeah, Smallville.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Exactly. No one cares. It's gonna be the same thing.
Get out of here, Carlos. Get out of here.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but I think people will remember him fondly. But I don't think there was some people really love Man of Steel. I don't know if there's a great Superman film with Cavill in it that people can really latch on to besides Snyder Cut, which he's not even really in that much. So, but a lot of people love Man of Steel. I will admit that. So, I mean, it's,
the next ones, bro.
But they didn't love it enough to support it in the box office because it didn't make near as much money as it should have.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the point where I feel like, nowadays it's kind of like, I feel like a little bit of revisionist history, kind of like with the Star Wars prequels too. Now we all love the prequels, right? And it's kind of like, okay, like, but at the time we didn't, right? And then now it's kind of like same with Man of Steel. Like this film made what, 600 million at the box office? That's nothing to scoff at. But for a Superman film, Riley, like, I get No Way Home is a little bit bigger in scope, but No Way Home made almost $2 billion. Like, I mean, that's, and the Superman's making 600. I mean, this came out, I think, a year, like Iron Man, like a lot of those films are making more than Man of Steel. So, I mean, it's like, I don't know if Iron Man 1 did. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. But for a Superman film, for that iconic of a character to not make more than that, like, that's a problem. So, it's important to note that. So I will say that, yeah, but as far as this JND goes, it looks great so far, but I don't really care enough about Superman right now to drop that type of money on this character.
Yeah.
But I think there will be people who do. And I think this will sell out like every other JND does. So
right.